It's the year 2025 and a dreadful disease is sweeping the world, striking down every man, woman and child. This disease takes away your mouth. It leaves you speechless. Hey Beauts, welcome back to my channel. Did you like my dramatic opening there? Right, welcome back to my latest tutorial. There seems to be a bit of a theme in my last couple of tutorials of missing facial features. Last time it was the eye, this time it is the mouth. And this is a very, very easy look, but very effective. So if you would like to see how I did this, then please keep watching. Right, first up, I have a new camera angle. Do you like it, or would you prefer me to go back to my old one? Let me know below. Right, I am first of all taking some toilet tissue. Now, unfortunately, my boyfriend bought the posh Charmin stuff, which has little bears all over it, but you've just got to work with what you got, and I made it work by splitting it in half and using the back side of the sheet so that you couldn't see the bears, basically. Right, so I just tore the edges because it's far easier to conceal an uneven edge than it is to conceal a sharp edge. So I just tore it in the general sort of shape and size to cover my mouth. And then using some liquid latex, I patted that over my lips and then just applied the tissue over the top to basically hide my lips. Now this is a very quick, easy and cheap effect that anybody can do at home. Obviously if you're allergic to latex then it'd be a little bit more difficult. If you are, you could always use a latex-free eyelash glue, that would work, or you could use some gelatin. Just drying off that latex there, and once it's dry I want to start creating some texture with some cotton wool. So just pulling off some wisps of cotton wool, applying a little bit more latex and just patting those bits of cotton wool over, like I say, just to create some texture and make the area look diseased. And let's speed it up because there's only so much of the same thing that you can watch. Now onto the colouring. Now the key here is to create your colour in sheer layers. So I'm using water-based face paints and going in first of all with a very, very light wash of red. If you use sheer layers and you build the colour up, you get a lot more depth and a lot more realism to your look. It also creates some translucency, which gives a much more realistic look than one thick layer of paint, and it's a way to make your effects look a lot more professional and realistic, even if you are using cheap and easy methods like the latex and cotton wool. So I'm just going in with an old cheap brush and just patting that colour on and then patting it in with my fingers. And then going in with a little bit of blue, using the back of my hand as a palette. And now going in with a deeper red and doing the same thing, just building up the depth of colour around that centre area. Make sure you go beyond where you've got the liquid latex and paper and tissue as well, just so it all kind of blends. And then I'm going over with some foundation because this kind of helps the colour look like it's underneath the skin. So again, makes it look a bit more realistic rather than it just kind of sitting on top of the skin. And then just bringing the colour up over other areas of the skin, because let's face it, if you had a disease like this, then the rest of your face would not look pristine. So it's just kind of bringing the rest of the face into the look as well. Now another great tip I have is to take a baby wipe and dab away some of the colour. It gives a nice sort of mottled, blotchy effect, which again makes the look a lot more realistic and a lot more random and less uniform and less brushed on. And I'm just taking the NYX Liquid Suede lipstick in Cherry Skies and just using that to add a little bit more depth and a bit of a dark blood colour. And again, let's speed this up because you don't want to be watching the same thing over and over again. I'm just adding some more layers of colour using exactly the same techniques that I've just shown you. The brush, the baby wipe, patting with my fingers, and you can see I'm getting a nice blotchy effect and some nice depth of colour now. And also going in with some black just to add some extra depth right in the centre there. Now I also wanted to add some nasty looking diseased drips coming out of my nose. And then I thought, well, you'd be a bit upset really if your mouth had disappeared. So what I decided to do is make it look like I've been crying. So I put some liquid liner underneath my eyes and then use a little bit of water just to smudge that and create tears. And I also used some black face paint to intensify that even more. Just adding some finishing touches here with a little bit more foundation just to tone down that centre portion because I felt it was a little dark, and a little bit more blotching with the baby wipe. And then I decided I wanted to make my eyes look a bit more smoky. They were looking a bit clean, so I just coloured them in with a pencil eyeliner and just smudged it all over my eyes for a dishevelled effect. And finally I just took a little bit of fake blood and just dotted that on to finish off the look. And there we have it, the finished look. Nice and easy. Probably not one you'd want for a party because you can't talk, you can't eat, you can't drink, but great for photographs or just freaking out your mates. If you like this video, please give it a massive thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe to my channel because I have lots more coming up. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Love you lots. Bye bye.